One of the most frequently asked questions by readers of the Bible is simple yet profound. Who is Cain's wife? After Cain killed his brother Abel and was banished by God, Scripture tells us that he had a wife and children. For many people, this raises a mystery. If Adam and Eve were the first human beings, where did Cain's wife come from? For centuries, Christians have reflected on this question. While the Bible does not explicitly name her, Catholic theology offers insights within the broader context of God's plan for humanity. The story begins in the book of Genesis. Adam and Eve are presented as the first parents of the human race. After the tragic events involving Cain and Abel, Genesis 4:17 states, Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. Yet no previous mention is made of her identity. Some readers assume this is a contradiction or a missing piece of history. However, the Bible was never intended to function as a modern historical record. Instead, it focuses on the truths necessary for salvation. A key passage appears later in Genesis 5-4, which states that Adam had other sons and daughters. According to the biblical account, Adam and Eve had many children beyond Cain, Abel, and Seth. Therefore, Cain's wife would most likely have been one of his sisters or a close female relative descended from Adam and Eve. To modern readers, this idea may seem troubling because marriage between close relatives is forbidden today. However, Catholic scholars explain that the earliest generations of humanity existed under unique circumstances. If all humans descended from a single couple, marriages between siblings would have been necessary for the human family to grow. Furthermore, Catholic theology teaches that God created humanity in a state of original holiness and integrity. Before generations accumulated genetic weakness, the conditions of early humanity would have been different from those we experience today. The deeper lesson, however, is not merely about Cain's wife. The Bible's focus is on the consequences of sin. Cain's story reveals the destructive power of jealousy, anger, and pride. After murdering Abel, Cain attempted to escape responsibility, asking God, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Even after Cain's terrible sin, God demonstrated both justice and mercy. He punished Cain by sending him into exile, yet he also placed a protective mark upon him so that no one would kill him. Some skeptics suggest other groups existed outside Eden. However, traditional Catholic interpretation maintains a common origin in Adam and Eve. If all people descend from the same first parents, then all share the same fallen human nature and the same need for salvation. The Catholic Church emphasizes that Genesis contains profound theological truths expressed through ancient literary forms. The mystery of Cain's wife should not distract readers from the larger message of the text. What initially appears to be a mystery becomes understandable within the broader biblical narrative. More importantly, the story reminds us that every human being belongs to one family under God, despite our differences. Scripture teaches that we share a common origin and a common destiny. The question of Cain's wife ultimately points beyond genealogy toward God's relationship with humanity. Cain deserved judgment, yet God preserved his life. This divine mercy reaches its fullest expression in Jesus Christ. Thus, the untold truth behind Cain's wife is not merely the identity of an unnamed woman. The real truth is that her existence confirms the Bible's vision of a single human family descended from the first parents. Sin entered the world, but God's mercy remained greater still. In the end, the mystery of Cain's wife invites us to look beyond curiosity and toward faith. Thank you for watching. Please like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Goodbye.